It is a privilege to be joined on the summit today by Geoff Conn, who is the voice of the Grand View Vikings and Grand View heading to the national championship game. As a matter of fact, I think I saw on social media, Geoff, that they were leaving the school and they're going to be flying out today to make their way to Durham, North Carolina for the national championship game. 13-0 this season. Let me ask you just to begin with, how cool is it to cover an undefeated team?
Well, it's pretty awesome to say the least. I mean, this team is the program is it's a winning program, and it's what's remarkable about Grandview is the fact that they've built the program so quickly into a winning tradition. I mean, the Grandview is not really that old as a football program. Just started in 2008. Within 6 years, they won their first national championship in 2013. Made a national title run a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, lost to Morningside. But they're back again this year. So this program just wins. Bottom line.
Well, and it was another big win on Saturday. I not only a big win. I would say it's a statement game because it really was a win over that Morningside team that you just referenced. There, a team that's won 3 national championships in the last few years in 2018, 19, and 21, and it was just a dominating performance as well. Tell us a little bit about Saturday's game.
Well, Coach Woodley likes to get the ball first, and Morningside won the toss and they deferred. So uh, Grandview got their wish and got the ball first, and they went right down the field in 4 plays and 75 yards. And the big hitter from Jackson Waring to Isaiah Toki, that both of those gentlemen had huge games last Saturday. A 52-yard pass got them set inside the 5, and 1 play later, it was a touchdown for Dalton Van Pelt, and they were off and running up 7-0. So always getting out to a quick start anytime is always big.
One of the things that when I was visiting with Coach Woodley yesterday, time constraints, I would love to have asked him a couple more questions, but I know that it's a busy week, and I was very thankful to get to speak with him. I'll ask you just the fact that the postseason this year has presented unique challenges for Grandview each week in Friends, in Northwestern, and in Morningside. And we're talking about it. It has to be a radically different game plan from week to week in the postseason to come away with those victories. Talk about how the Vikings have met that challenge each time.
Well, Friends was definitely a challenge that first playoff game a couple of weeks ago because they pose an offense that you don't really see at all often. I mean, it's like a triple option, old style, old school running option, the wing T, and it really took Grandview about a half, I think, to adjust to that type of offense to defend it because Friends jumped out to a 17-7 lead in the first half, and Grandview was behind the 8 ball, so to speak, at halftime of that game. But to their credit, they hung with it and outscored Friends in that second half to win 21-17. So that was like a big first hurdle to get over. And then you talk about Northwestern. That's a team that went to the national title game a couple of years ago. They've been there as well, and to defend that team and to really to dominate that game was also impressive uh, in the same form. And then Morningside might have been the most impressive of the three because Morningside, you could say, it was the fourth meeting between the schools. I wouldn't say they're rivals, but they've had some really good games in the postseason. And anytime you like to you knock off that team that obviously a school you very much respect, they've been there, done that a lot in the past few years to come out and fire away and jump out to a 21-0 lead in that contest was most impressive. And the way the defense has played, especially throughout the playoffs, has been very impressive.
And Jeff, the winner of the Grandview and Morningside matchup in the playoffs each time they've met has gone on to win the national championship. One time in the national championship. So I don't know if that's foretelling of what things are going to be, but at least it's worked out 3 times prior. We're visiting now with Geoff Conn, who's the voice of the Grandview Vikings, and I know you get to visit with Coach Woodley every week, and uh, from my experience. He's enjoyable to visit with. He's someone who has just such a great knowledge of the sport and a recall of the games and the season. When you talk to him, I mean, he's just spot on every time and can take you through, where you are in the season, where you are in a particular game. Talk about getting to visit with him as well.
Well, I enjoyed it every week to talk to Joe, to rehash what happened in the past week, and yeah, he's learned from his dad. I mean, his dad was the one that built this program back in 2008. He took over in 2018, 2019 rather. So his dad laid a solid foundation for him to build off of, and Joe's kind of taken it to maybe to that extra level. You look at the fact that Coach Woodley hasn't lost a regular season game in 6 years. That's most impressive. 70 wins, 5 losses, all in the postseason. So I think Joe's just taken the handoff baton from his dad, and he's continued the great Grandview tradition.
Yeah, that one loss record is just ridiculous. It almost sounds made up. It really does,
Yeah, it's hard to believe
considering,
sometimes.
college football and what can happen from, any given Saturday, I guess, to borrow a phrase there. When you look at this team now, and I know you've had a chance to see them for a number of years and cover them as well, what stands out to you about this team in particular?
I think it's defense, and that's something that's always been there for Grandview is the defense. And Joe's dad Mike really instilled that from the get go. And this team has won on their defense. I mean, the offense has been good. It's been efficient. It's been great at times, but the one thing that you can always see about Grandview is their defense. They limit opponents to score, limit the yards, especially the rushing defense. Has been the most impressive thing about this program in recent years is they don't allow teams to get big runs on you, and they don't allow many yards on the ground.
Well, I would ask you then, and I kind of have an idea of which direction you might lean here, but then tell us what you think is going to happen on Saturday.
Well, it's going to be it's a hard one to predict. I mean, Kaiser, they're number one. They deserve to be number one.
Mhm.
They won it all last year. They have a new coach. They promoted from within, uh, and especially you have to really respect the way they came back against Benedictine last Saturday. I mean, frankly, they were dead in the water, and for them to score 28 points in such a short amount of time uh, is something that really opens your eyes, and you realize, yeah, these are the champs. They're number one. They're the best. So maybe I'm kind of copping out here. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping for a Grandview win. Of course, I'm hoping for a Grandview win, but it'll be the Vikings' biggest challenge to date, no question.
Okay, it's all right to cop out there. That's fine. This one's a tough one to call. It really
Yeah,
is. So I completely understand that. Well, Jeff, on a given day, and I know it's a national championship game, and there are ways to get to watch that, especially from the NAI production that's going to happen. Just on a given week, though, when you're calling your games for Grandview, where do the people find you? How do they get to watch and to get to listen to your call?
well, we stream on the Grand View Viking website, which is at gvvikings.com. And you go to watch the Vikings, and then you'll find the link there to tune in to all the video stream games.
All right, Geoff Conn, the voice of the Grand View Vikings, and what a fantastic season to get to call and to get to be a part of, and I'm sure it's one that you'll always remember too. Among others, so many others with Grandview, as you said, it's been successful for so long, and we thank you very much for taking some time with us today here on the summit and talk about some NAI football today.
I appreciate the conversation, Joey.